When we talk about muscle mass, many people believe that working out every day and avoiding eating junk food is enough. But have you ever looked in the mirror after weeks of intense training and felt that, instead of looking stronger, you look thinner, weaker, or even more exhausted than usual? Then you may be falling into the dreaded muscle catabolism. That silent enemy that, without realizing it, is destroying all the effort you put in at the gym. Just so you understand, muscle catabolism is a process in which the body breaks down muscle tissue for energy. This occurs when it doesn't get adequate nutrients, enough rest, or when it is under excessive stress. In simple terms, it is the opposite of muscle growth. Instead of building, it destroys. Factors such as lack of protein, too much cardio, chronic stress, and lack of sleep can trigger it, affecting your performance and physical appearance. If you want to gain muscle or at least maintain it, it's critical to avoid these mistakes. Now, let's see what the most common ones are and how you can correct them. So stick around to the end, because mistake number 7 is one of the most common, and if you're making it, you could be losing more muscle than you think. Ready? Let's get started. Number 1. Not consuming enough protein. Imagine you've had an intense session at the gym. You've lifted heavier than ever, you've given your maximum effort on every repetition, and you feel that burning in your muscles that indicates you've really challenged them. But here comes the key part. After training, your body is in a state of wear and tear, full of micro-injuries in the muscle fibers that need to be repaired. And to do that, it needs a building block: protein. Protein is the building material of your muscles. It's like the bricks a mason needs to build a wall. If you don't give him enough bricks, construction stops, or worse, the structure starts to weaken. Simply put, if your protein intake is insufficient, your body won't be able to repair muscle fibers damaged during training, and, instead of growing, you could be losing muscle mass. That said, I remind you that you have discounts on all products of the brand HSN, such as proteins, creatines, and everything related to sports supplementation. Only for people who are in the Schengen area. You will find all the exclusive links in the description of this video. Don't miss the opportunity. But now you may be wondering how much protein is enough. This is where many people fail. It's not just a matter of eating a little more chicken or eggs, but making sure you're consuming the right amount for your weight and activity level. Experts recommend between 1.6 and 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight to optimize muscle growth and recovery. For example, if you weigh 70 kilograms, you should consume between 112 and 154 grams of protein per day. If you don't reach these values, your body will go into an amino acid deficit, and instead of using protein to build muscle, it will turn to existing muscle mass as a source of energy. It's a destructive cycle that can cause you to lose months of progress. So make sure you include enough protein at every meal. Sources like lean meat, poultry, fish, eggs, dairy, legumes, and supplements like whey protein can help you meet your daily requirement. Remember, training hard without proper nutrition is like trying to build a skyscraper without concrete. It just won't work. Number 2. Train fasted with consistently high intensity. Training fasted is a popular strategy for improving fat burning and insulin sensitivity. However, when combined with unplanned high-intensity workouts, it can lead to muscle breakdown. Imagine your body is like a car. To function properly, it needs fuel, and in this case, that fuel comes from glycogen stored in your muscles and liver. But when you train on an empty stomach, glycogen stores are low, which means your body has less energy available to sustain an intense workout. If the exercise intensity is too high and there's not enough glycogen, the body may turn to a less efficient energy source: muscle protein breakdown. In other words, it starts to break down the muscle you've worked so hard to build. To minimize these effects, keep the intensity moderate when training on an empty stomach. If training is intense, consume BCAAs or EAAs to reduce muscle breakdown. Ensure good post-workout nutrition to optimize recovery and muscle growth. In conclusion, training on an empty stomach is not negative if done with a proper strategy. Avoid high-demanding sessions without preparation and find a balance between training, nutrition, and rest to reach your goals without compromising your muscle mass. Number 3. Not getting enough sleep. Think about it. You train hard, eat right, take your supplements, and do everything you can to gain muscle. But if you don't get enough sleep, you could be throwing all that effort away. Sleep isn't just rest. It's a time for your body to recover, rebuild muscle tissue, and balance essential growth hormones. While you sleep, your body releases growth hormone and testosterone, two key components for muscle repair and development. If you reduce your hours of sleep, these levels drop dramatically, which not only affects your ability to gain muscle, but also makes you more prone to fatigue, fat accumulation, and stagnant performance. In addition, sleep deprivation elevates cortisol, a hormone that in excess can promote muscle breakdown and hinder protein synthesis. That's why after several nights of poor sleep, you not only feel exhausted, but you also look leaner, lack muscle tone, and have less strength in training. Now, how much sleep should you get? Experts recommend between 7 and 9 hours of quality sleep every night. And it's not just the quantity that matters, but also the quality. If you spend the last hours of the day checking your phone or watching TV with bright lights, you reduce the production of melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep, which makes it harder for you to enter a deep and restful rest. To improve your rest and optimize muscle recovery, establish a regular sleep schedule and try to go to sleep and wake up at the same time every day. Avoid bright screens at least 1 hour before bedtime. Create a dark, cool, and quiet environment in your bedroom. Avoid caffeine and other stimulating substances in the hours before sleep. No matter how well you train or how strict your diet is, if you don't get enough sleep, you are limiting your potential and encouraging muscle catabolism. If you really want to make progress, prioritize sleep as a fundamental part of your muscle growth routine. Number 4. Excess cardio. Cardio is a powerful tool for cardiovascular health and fat burning, but when done in excess, especially in a caloric deficit, it can become an enemy of muscle growth. When you perform too much cardio, the body needs more energy to sustain the effort. If it doesn't get enough fuel from food, it will dip into muscle stores for amino acids and convert them into energy, leading to the dreaded muscle catabolism. In addition, excessive cardio increases cortisol levels, a stress hormone that, in high amounts, promotes muscle breakdown and hinders recovery. If you combine long cardio sessions with a low-calorie diet and intense weight training, you'll be creating the perfect environment for losing muscle instead of gaining it. But this doesn't mean you should eliminate cardio altogether. The key is balance. Prioritize resistance training as the foundation of your routine. Do moderate cardio sessions, 20 to 40 minutes, 3 to 4 times per week, to maintain cardiovascular health without affecting muscle growth. Adjust your caloric intake to ensure you are not in an extreme deficit. In summary, cardio is beneficial if used strategically, but overdoing it, especially in a caloric deficit, can compromise your muscle mass. Find the right balance to optimize your results. Number 5. Not training with sufficient intensity. Muscle grows in response to a stimulus. If that stimulus is weak or insufficient, it will have no reason to adapt and become stronger. Many people make the mistake of training with weights that are too light or not challenging themselves enough, which leads to stagnation in their progress and, in the worst cases, loss of muscle mass. The key principle to avoid this is progressive overload, which is to gradually increase the difficulty of the workout. This does not only mean lifting more weight, but also improving technique, increasing repetitions, reducing rest times, or increasing the overall intensity of the exercise. If you always lift the same loads or train with no real effort, your body will settle in and stop building muscle. To avoid this, use challenging weights, but maintain good technique. Gradually increase the load or training volume each week. Train with real intensity, getting close to muscle failure in each set. Remember, progress doesn't happen in the comfort zone. If you want to see results, give your muscle a reason to grow. Number 6. Carbohydrate deficiency. Carbohydrates have been unfairly demonized in many diets, but if your goal is to gain or maintain muscle mass, eliminating them can be a big mistake. They are the main source of energy for intense workouts, and deficiency can lead to premature fatigue, poor performance, and, worse, muscle breakdown. When you train with weights or perform high-intensity exercise, your body uses glycogen, the stored form of carbohydrates in your muscles and liver, as fuel. If you don't consume enough carbohydrates, these stores are quickly depleted, and the body is forced to look for energy from another source, muscle protein. This means that, instead of using amino acids to repair and build muscle, it converts them into energy, favoring catabolism. To avoid this and optimize your performance, make sure you consume enough carbohydrates, especially around your workouts. Before training, slow-absorbing carbohydrates such as oatmeal, brown rice, or whole grain bread to maintain sustained energy. After training, fast-absorbing carbohydrates such as fruit or white rice to replenish muscle glycogen quickly. Don't be afraid of carbs. Use them strategically to boost your performance and avoid muscle loss. Number 7. Chronic stress and excess cortisol. Stress is one of the silent threats to your muscular progress. When you face constant stress, whether it's from work, school, or personal problems, your body releases cortisol, a hormone that, at high and sustained levels, can sabotage your muscle gains. Cortisol plays an important role in the body, helping to regulate energy and stress response. However, when chronically elevated, it becomes a problem. It increases muscle protein breakdown, hindering recovery and growth, reduces protein synthesis, which means your body can't build muscle efficiently. It promotes fat accumulation, especially in the abdominal area, and affects testosterone and growth hormone production. To keep cortisol under control and prevent it from affecting your musculature, it is key to incorporate habits that reduce stress. Get 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night to balance hormones. Practice relaxation techniques such as meditation, deep breathing, or yoga. Organize your time to reduce anxiety and feelings of overload. Avoid overtraining without adequate recovery, as overtraining also raises cortisol. Stress is inevitable, but if you learn to manage it, you'll avoid it ruining your progress and get closer and closer to your muscle goals. And if you found this video useful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the little bell for more health, mobility, and fitness content. See you in the next video. Keep moving and take care of your body.